Yeah, so.
No decisions, votes or decisions that were allowed to be made in closed session. So is there any motion or action which any board member feels is appropriate in open session at this time?
I would like to bring up my original motion when we discussed it a few weeks ago about the $2,000 per year, which I had mentioned the $1,560 was about part of the 2.6%. That'd be on $60,000 roughly. And then my recommendation would be to do the $440 over it, to bring it to $2,000 per year for this year and next year to bring him up to Bill's current salary.
Okay, we can do that, Marty. It sounds a little complicated.
Well,
Is there a way
basically,
to simplify that?
Just say $2,000 this year and $2,000 next year, just a flat rate.
Okay, a motion has been made to increase Pat's current salary by $2,000 for FY '16.
Yes.
And also another
17.
$2,000 for FY '17.
Yes.
Okay, all right. There's a motion been made to increase Pat's salary by $2,000 for FY '16 and additional $2,000 for FY '17. That's the motion. Is there a second? Okay. The motion dies due to lack of second. Okay, all right. Okay, that concludes that agenda item, I believe. Thank you all for your patience. Yes, Virginia?
Do you know what the total cost of that position is to the county with all the
Benefits?
benefits and,
Not offhand, Virginia. We've done research in that, and on an average, the salaries has an additional 25% on benefits. I believe it would be less than that with bills because the percentage benefit is usually higher on the lower paid salaries and less on the higher paid, so.
now does this include clothing and he's got a car and?
That wasn't part of our discussion.
I know, but
Yeah.
do you know what the total cost of having him on board is?
No, top of my head.
Not exactly.
Not exactly, it'd be approximately
I-
$70,000 roughly, roughly.
Total.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be a rough estimate, so. But, yeah. Insurance is usually the biggest benefit that employees have the
Yeah.
option of accepting.
But then all these other little things count up.
Yeah, there are other things, absolutely.
And I'm sure that we put gas in and maintenance and,
I don't have a car.
That's,
you know, but you're using the
No,
county cars, sitting down there.
it sits down there. He doesn't use it personally.
it's
Virginia,
not
if
used,
that's what you're
it's
asking.
not used
Not for personal use.
personal
Well,
use.
no, not personal use,
Well,
but.
that's part of the service, just like the gas and the ambulances, he uses that for meetings
I
and
know it's part
things.
of the service, but it's a cost to
Okay.
the county.
Okay. Okay. Okay,
You could request that
What?
information that you're requesting. Courtney would give that to you.
Oh. You don't have to hurry, though.
okay. Yeah, I don't think that's an unreasonable request for
No, it's not.
information. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to our next agenda item, and that looks like case management MCO update. Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Hello.
Morning, Justin.
Good morning, Justin.
Good morning. A few things to go through today. They finally did vote it through, so.
Thanks, John.
Everything will start on April 1st. So the state was hoping to start March 1st. It was approved, but it was approved to start April 1st, so that will be the date. There's no more approval or anything that needs to be done. Managed care will start April 1st, so. We're still waiting on the McFarland Clinic and what they're planning on doing, because that could have an impact on us. They put out a press release on February 16th that said they'll try to let everybody know within 30 days. So hopefully, soon, we will know what they're doing, which will kind of help to ease our minds a little bit, if they sign with AmeriHealth like we are signed with, so. So that's kind of the last real kind of iffy thing that we are waiting on. So the safe harbor, which is the ability to bill and get paid at 100%, was going to end in March. Now, of course, managed care isn't starting till April, so as of April 1st, you have to have a contract or you're not going to get paid at 100%. So I believe that they will have a contract in place by then. So we should know by April 1st at the latest, I would think. I just wanted to just review quickly the contract updates, since it's been a while since we have talked about those. AmeriHealth, we had talked last when we had gotten that in. We have received it back from them now, signed, so AmeriHealth is completely done with everything. United Healthcare lost what we sent them, so have to send it again, but we should be done with that then once they receive all the information and sign their side of the contract. AmeriGroup, we had talked about in the past, absolutely did not want us to sign the contract. That has since changed, I believe, with pressure from the state. They had contacted me a couple weeks ago and asked me, are you able to sign this? Or they wanted me to sign it like that day. I was like, well, I can't do that. So we have to take that in front of the Board of Supervisors. And I just expressed my frustration with them that we had wanted to sign a contract a long time ago and they didn't want one. And I really felt kind of pressured that they wanted us to hurry up and get it done. I said, that's not exactly how things work here. So we just kind of have to decide if we want to try to go through that and either sign a contract, or they had some sort of memorandum of understanding or something that we could review. At the time, we thought things were going to go through March 1st, and I didn't feel we'd have enough time to do anything with it. We could possibly look at that for April 1st. If we decide not to do that, then we would probably want to transfer any clients we have with the AmeriGroup fairly quickly, because we wouldn't be getting paid at that rate. As far as I know right now, we only have one client with AmeriGroup. We're still finishing up calling everybody to see which company they've chosen, so that number could be slightly higher than the one we have so far. So either way, they would have a case manager April 1st. If we weren't going to provide that, then they would be able to provide that. So it's really kind of just a discussion on whether we want to pursue that for just a few clients or not. But I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. If you want me to pursue it, I can look at all that information and we can begin on that. But
So for the few clients we may have, we'll get paid at 90%.
correct, until we would decide to just completely transfer them over to AmeriGroup. And if we decide to go that route, I would say, a typical transfer for us, if we get somebody, the case manager will introduce us and we're done. I mean, that's what clients get. If we transfer in-house from one case manager to another, then we bring them to meet them, and then that's normal for them, just to see their new case manager once before they carry on. And we could still be made available if they need some information. We could sign a release of information with AmeriGroup to be able to provide them some of our information if they need that. But is it worth going through that for a few clients? I don't know if it is for such a short time period. So, but that's just
I
something.
think you'd have to look at what's gonna be down in the future, if there's any advantage to that.
Right. They've been pretty pro case management in-house, so I don't think they're gonna change their mind on that. But we certainly can go through the process if you guys would like.
Here's my concern if we don't, is, in good faith, we've entered into contract with AmeriHealth. And them knowing the same rules, knowing that, they would get paid at 90%, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or maybe as many as 5. I just wouldn't want that to impact, future relations with the ones that want to do business with Carroll County.
Right.
And had offered to do business with Carroll County. I'm talking while I'm thinking. So, That's a dangerous precedent. But my concern is, of course, one or two or three probably isn't any real big deal to concern ourselves with, but I just wouldn't want it to impact, valid relationships elsewhere.
And I could they forward me the information, I could forward it to you guys over the week, you could review it, and we could actually discuss it next week if you wanted to make a formal decision on whether to proceed or not.
I think that'd be a good idea. I'm trying to be thinking while I'm talking. I think we need to look at the long term in a lot of these decisions. There's just so much uncertainty, but when there's decision whether to do something or not to, I think we have to look at the more important than tomorrow or the next day is the long-term potential benefits. And I just think this is probably one more opportunity that we have that we don't know how it's going to turn out, so we want to be on board with it if there is possible long-term benefit.
Right.
Things continuously change. If you looked at the paper yesterday, did you read that article? How many of these are having their own facilities? They're gonna be the insurance and their own facilities.
Yes. Did you read that?
They're gonna have their own facilities around the state, all three of them.
Well, and I know one of the companies, see right now, to do like our level of care for case management, that's done by an outside agency called Telegen, who the state contracts with, and, that's kind of to keep, anything out of, the state won't have all that information, that the Telegen would actually do the level of care, and then they can decide on it. One of the companies is actually gonna start doing that themselves too, the level of care, so there's, it's supposed to be conflict-free with some of these things, but if that truly is conflict-free, would probably be up for debate.
Should we possibly send one to John Worden too, so if we decide to act on it, that kind of might expedite the process a little bit?
Definitely, but he won't, the last couple of times is he won't have the ability to act on it within a week, so I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
we
fine.
would have to give him a couple, 2-3
We
weeks
could,
at best.
they'll tell us that they've all been approved by the state, the contracts would have been approved by the state, so even we tried to modify one of them a little bit, and then that's what they ended up telling us anyway, so. I can certainly send it to him too, as long with you guys, and just to let us know if they have if he has any issues with it. And then, we could even hold off on signing it until right before.
Have you yourself had a chance to review it,
I
Justin?
haven't had a chance,
Okay.
no.
Would you do so also?
Yes,
I mean,
yes, I will.
And then the fourth player is out, right?
They are completely out now.
Completely out.
They've dropped their appeal, so they're done. WellCare was that one. So it will be,
When clients, who they're the people I'm most concerned about, sign up for services, they're like given or assigned something, they had a 90-day period in which to shift around and all that.
yeah.
Has that all been pushed back as well, or is that?
Yeah, they still have that period that they can go ahead and change if they wish.
Yeah, at one time I saw where they're using specific calendar dates, but that was assuming a specific start date. So is that all moved back?
Yeah, that's moved back till May now.
Okay.
Yep, so they can change it till then without any cause or any reason.
Yeah, okay.
And we have continued to talk to the ones that we know that have changed, just to let them know what the process will be, that we'll be transitioning them out to the new case management agency. I know with United Healthcare, we will be contracting with them and can provide services through them for between 6 months and a year, depending on what they choose. They'll actually contact the clients and ask them if they want to keep us. So that'll kind of depend on what that client says at that time, whether we get to continue in that transfer process with them, so.
Okay. So Justin, just to recap, we're going to be contracted with AmeriHealth.
Yep, that's all done.
The United Healthcare lost it, but we at least attempted to
Yes,
contract with
and
them.
that should be fine.
I'm just thinking, again, right now, we're going to have, why have 2 out of 3? I mean,
Yeah.
I think we better have all 3. I mean.
And it was just kind of the thing that I was concerned about at the beginning, was just the rushiness of
Right,
trying to get
yeah,
through.
and you acted very appropriately there, so.
So, yeah, it's easy enough, we can forward it and talk about it. then on Monday. It's no big deal. I had already started on it several months ago, so.
Right.
Okay.
Um,
And as I understand this, one of the biggest issues for the clients is they can only be with one of these, AmeriGroup, AmeriHealth, or United.
Yes, correct.
And if they have providers that are not all with one of those, they have to make a decision.
Yep, and we've actually come up with one of those, yeah.
But if there's a family that has 3 people, all 3 of them could be with a different one of these providers.
That's correct.
So there could be several of these MCOs with one family,
Correct.
but a person can only have one.
Yes, correct, yeah.
So that works, okay.
Yeah, and at first, they were supposed to put everybody in the same residence, same family, was supposed to go to the same one, just for being easy. That didn't happen exactly how they had thought it was gonna be working out, so that didn't really happen. So a lot of the families that we know have tried to consolidate that to where if they had 3 different ones or 2 different ones, that they would just pick one, just for ease, because otherwise then you have to know the rules on 2 or 3 of them, and, you know, they're gonna all do things slightly differently, so. The other thing is clients, from what we've checked with, as I've said in the past, most of our clients are with AmeriHealth. So as long as nothing goes haywire with any of the other providers, we should be able to keep most of our clients. We're still contacting the last few that we haven't heard from yet, so we'll be calling them this week, next week, to try to get the final counts. At first, they thought they would let us know March 1st, like we could go on and look it up ourselves, but now I'm not sure if we will until April, so we're trying to just figure that out on our own so that we're not surprised in April. It looks like we're gonna get about 9 to 10 clients from Buena Vista as a referral, and that'll work for us because Melanie, our new case manager, lives kind of north of Auburn, east of Sac a little bit, so it'd be pretty easy for her to start her day in Buena Vista, and having 9 or 10 clients, if we can work it out well enough, would just make a full day up there and be able to see everybody, so it wouldn't be that inefficient to be able to go do that, so. And Louis was able to, we had an old laptop that had Windows XP on it, Louis was able to upgrade that for us, so she has a laptop that she could take up there and be able to work if she's not seeing somebody, so I think that would work out pretty well. And that'll start next month. I talked to Alicia up there, and she had been keep delaying it kind of as managed care was delayed, but she felt that it was delayed enough, so that would start March 1st, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it works well. If it doesn't work well, we can reevaluate that, of course. We're not tied into anything, but hopefully it does work out. So if we do lose 9 or 10 clients, we look to gain about 9 or 10 clients as well.
So that starts March 1st is tomorrow.
Yes, that starts tomorrow, yeah. And we've been in contact with Alicia about how we're gonna work that transition. We'll have access to those clients in CSN, so we'll have access to all their paperwork tomorrow.
So our only non-county residents will be 9 or 10 from BV?
We have 9 or 10 from BV, we have 1 from Green that we've already had. I wanna say there's somebody that's just on the other side of the Crawford border too.
So you're gonna work with another region then?
Well, yeah, we really haven't had to work with the regions on the one in Green because he's just all waiver funded.
Oh, he's waiver, okay.
Yeah, so we really haven't had to do anything with that. So
Okay.
that really hasn't been a problem. So with those, our caseloads are gonna end up being right about on 45 for all 3 of us, so we'll see how that goes for a while, but. There's-
Including you?
Yes, including me. I'll have 45, not only have 45. I think we're gonna lose a couple of people to nursing homes, and so after all those changes happen, yeah, we'll all be right about 45 with the BV clients. So we'll have to see how that goes for a while. And see if we end up getting any more additional clients from AmeriHealth if we start providing some other waivers, and then probably have to reevaluate at that time. Because we're at the max, it would be the max that the state allows. So to be able to take referrals above and beyond this, then we would have to have some sort of a plan in place to get those back under 45, or at 45.
And one question, AmeriHealth is the one that's plans on using your case.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, they plan to use this long-term. The other thing that we're in the process of figuring out, it seems to be changing quickly, is the billing procedure. So we'll still bill the state for the few people that we have with the state after April 1st. Other than that, it was first told to us that AmeriHealth required us to use Change Healthcare, which is a clearinghouse, so that we would have to send our file. We get a file off the CSN now, we just upload that to the state's system. That doesn't cost us a thing. So as of April 1st, we would have to download that file from CSN and upload it to Change Healthcare, and they charge a transaction fee for that. I estimated it to be about $2,000 a year to use them. The other option would be paper billing, which is free, but it would take more time. So we're just gonna have to evaluate that. And then last week, they,
Just with you guys carrying 45 clients, I think it may behoove you to,
I definitely think, I mean, my preference would be to do, pay the money if that's the case.
yes.
The recent development last week, though, was that the state, the EDIS system that we use now, may be changing so that we may be able to use that for free. So we're in the process of trying to figure out if that will work. So hopefully that will work, and then nothing will change.
Okay.
So that would be great. And then we wouldn't have to worry about any fees or anything, so. But if we do have to use Change Healthcare, it would be about $2,000 a year, so. Not a huge sum of money, but still, we didn't have to pay for it before, so it would be a change.
Mhm.
And then the last thing is just wanted to update you, we've been training Melanie now for a little over a week, and that seems to be going pretty well. It's nice to have another case manager in the office again to help with our loads. Springtime is a super busy time of the year, just because a lot of people have come on in springtime so that their paperworks are due and stuff, so it's been a real help to have her be there and kind of divvy out the caseload. Again, it'll be even more beneficial and she knows more of what she's doing, so she can do more things independently, but yeah, I think that's going pretty well so far. Any other questions?
Questions? Hey, I appreciate the update.
Yeah, so I will send that AmeriGroup information out this week, and then I'll just plan on coming back next week to discuss that.
Right, but once again, if we want John's opinion on it, we'll probably need more than a week, but just
Okay,
keep that in mind.
sure. Do you still want to discuss it next week, or do you want me to put it off for a couple weeks?
I'm
John's not gonna make any changes to that contract. Biddings are done by state, I don't think.
I agree. I think we could do it next week.
Okay.
Is that okay with the rest of the board here?
Yeah,
And
it
if
Yep.
you guys say that there's something you really wanted to look at, I'll just bring that directly to him and say,
Yeah.
this specific thing.
If you see something sticky, perhaps,
Yeah,
that might be a good idea.
yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Great, yep, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
see
you.
Have a good week.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. I think we'll continue with, we only have one more item. We had a Manning House Barn Tourism, and
She called and canceled.
that
Okay,
canceled.
yeah.
Okay, all right, got that. Okay, let's go continue with committee reports. Dean, were you done?
I'm done, yeah.
You're done.
Okay.
Gene, your turn.
Okay, I gotta get my calendar up here. On Monday night, I went to the Chamber Annual Banquet, and as many of you are aware, that Doug got an award there for being a sheriff and being a public servant. And then on Tuesday, I had policy council meeting, and we only had two health and safety classroom playground things, which were corrected. I've talked about the self-assessment. They're currently in the process of doing that. School readiness committee meeting was going to be March 19th, and they hired one staff for a substitute teacher. That's going to be kind of a unique situation where we're going to float around to different classrooms, which we haven't had that opportunity in the past. Also, the 2015 Community Needs Assessment is in the process, and they're doing that on, by paper survey and also a monkey survey. And we talked about the 2015, 2016 Head Start and Early Head Start parent evaluations, and they were being taken right now at the present time. And also the, we did approve 2 Policy Council community representatives, which we haven't had for a long time. And they were Amy Carpenter and Cindy Gredeman. And that was basically our meeting there. Then on Thursday, as Mark said, we had the conservation and the ambulance thing. Then at 3 o'clock, I had an executive board meeting with new opportunities. And what we did is basically went through and approved any changes that and recommendations to the full board for human resource policies and procedures manual, and then also the fiscal policies and procedures manual. And then our auditor was there also and give us a short presentation, and also give us a presentation at the full board meeting, which was next. I have the audit here. I'll pass that around. You can take a look at it. It was a clean audit again, and I will tell you that our revenues last year was at 9.6 million. Our high was in 2010, which was was at 12,000. And you got to remember that was back in the time of the ARA funds, the
Stimulus Act.
stimulus, yeah. So we did have a change in assets of $148,221. And there's a whole bunch of graphs in here and things that you can kind of look through. One thing that our biggest program in 2015 is our Head Start, which is 30% of all that, and there's a graph that shows the different funds and all that, and I'll let you look at that. So he was at there. And then also, we did approve that audit. We did approve our indirect cost proposal, which was 16%. This is the money out of our total program that we can take off and then use that to apply for administrative funds for salaries and things like that. And administrative, that's based out of our CSBG grants. We did approve that. Then we did approve the full board did approve the fiscal policies and procedures. And then we did also approve the human resource policies and procedures. One thing we did do is we approved an annual report that we have to publish every year. What did I do with that? And I'll pass that around also. We did approve that. We did have election of officers, and again, the whole slate stayed the same as they currently are, with me being the president of the board. We did approve a lot of the stuff is our annual stuff, our annual meeting. We approved our agreement with our attorney to be a service consultant, and we approved our HIPAA policies, behaviors, health service policies was tabled because there were some things that didn't get done yet on that, and discussed our corporate bylaws and signed off on a code of ethics, and nepotism policy, and conflict policy. After that, we had a regular board meeting, which was short. We just basically went through our financials and approved them, and then I went through and basically, again, just went through all the stuff we did on the policy council meeting on Tuesday night. For some reason, I think I forget something. And then that was basically on it. This week, I have, really don't have a lot. I think there's CAC tomorrow, I'm not sure. And that'd be about it. And then the legislative forum on Saturday.
Thanks, Gene. Marty?
Okay, I'm gonna go back a week since I was gone last week. On the 17th, Dave and I, we went down to Dedham to look at the railroad bridge issue, and we visited with Jeff Danner and Brad Huffman in regards to putting a road on the north side of the tracks. And Jeff wasn't real keen on that idea. What Dave had put together for kind of a survey, it'd take about 12 to 13 acres out of production for him. So Jeff's suggestion was to go on the south side of the tracks and then pursue the issue, the at-grade crossing again. We've been talking to the railroad and we've had some issues there. Dave did get a letter here a while back about if we do put it in, it's got to have that center median in it. And we're gonna try and address that issue and see if we can make it wide enough that we can get machinery through on both sides of it. I'm gonna try and get a hold of Steve Michelson this week. That's who owns the land on the south side, and we're gonna visit with him. Had several road issues with the soft roads in the Willie Dedham area last week before I left, or the week before I left. The county did use quite a bit of crushed concrete to take care of those issues. Then on Thursday, had Region 12 board meeting. First item we had was the election of officers, kept the same slate. I remained as president, Eric Skoog was vice president, Guy Richardson from Greene County is treasurer, and Jerry Caher from Guthrie County is secretary. Also had a policy council appointment for Crawford County. Pam Tripp, she turned in her resignation, and so we appointed Jean Hayden to take her place. And then we went down to new business. We went through the fiscal procedures manual, the records retention policy, and the procurement policies, and updated those. Rick had updated those. We approved those. Then going to the executive director's report, Rick gave us an update there. He's working with the city of Scranton on a personnel policy update. He's also working with the city of Arcadia on their urban revitalization plan, and that's basically with the FAC co-op. He's working on that. And he talked a little bit about the Western Iowa Advantage event for October 13th this year, and they're gonna kind of work through and look at ways of creating plot clear pathways for the region to create jobs. That was pretty much it in a nutshell there. And then on the local assistance report, Chris Whitaker gave us an update there. He's doing some comprehensive plans for the city of Auburn, Exira, Jefferson, and Manning. He's working on some regional STP applications. In regard to Carroll County, it's for E16, which is the Breda pavement, and then N38, which is the Litterdale. There's some updates there. He's working on Crawford County, the E16, which would be west of Breda also. And then he's working and getting applications in to get funding for a couple of Western Iowa Transit minivans. Also talked a little bit about the local development RISE application with Iowa DOT, and that's it has to do with the Manning Industrial Park, and it's basically north of Highway 141 on the west edge of Manning. And then talked a little bit about the city-county roundtables, kind of gave an update on the one down in Templeton. The regional planner position, Evan Sinnott, he began his duties February 1st, and so he'll be helping out Chris on that. And then Tom Feldman gave us a update on the transit report. Talked about ridership, it was down about 3%. Revenue mileage is up about 4%. Revenues are up 4%, and expenses are up 4%. We talked about vehicle disposal. We've got an old Dodge Caravan with 300,000. They were putting that on Purple Wave on the internet. And then he talked a little bit about staff training. It's going to be in Kansas City. It's the State Public Transit Partnership Conference in Kansas City, and that's August 14th through the 16th, and Tom will be going to that. And then he talked a little bit about the Medicaid modernization of transportation. They're working with Access to Care and trying to get things put together for that. And then he talked a little bit about the Quality Foods over in Denison. They're going to be opening up, and they're working with the jet vans to transport employees from Harlan. There is a plant in Harlan, so they're going to use one van one of the job jet vans to transport people back and forth there. And then after that meeting, we had a, let's see here, we went to the Regional Development Corporation. Just Tammy Lehman gave us an update on the project performance and outstanding projects there. And then we also considered one loan application from Cross Grain Woodworking over in Denison. That was for a $30,000 loan. So that was pretty much my nutshell, or everything in a nutshell there for the week of the 15th through the 19th. Last week I was gone. This week I've got, I'm trying to get together with Steve Michelson. Got several drainage issues that I got called on last week to look at those. And then on Friday I have a Hungry Canyons meeting and the Los Hills meeting down in Atlantic. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Marty. Courtney, what do we have accumulated for next week's agenda?
Do closed session right away for union negotiations. 10 o'clock is the culvert project letting. Shortly after that, we'll have the hearing for the county budget for fiscal 17. I have a question mark on here, and I should have asked Dave when he was here. When he talked about that ordinance regarding FEMA and the roads, I have that written down. That's a possibility. I'll check with him first.
Okay.
And then I have MCO contract discussion, E911 board appointment.
Okay.
And bill day will not be that day. We're gonna do bill day on the 14th, so.
Okay. Okay, very good. And quiz radio this week?
Gene.
Okay, very good. Okay, is there anything else on our agenda we need to cover or discuss, board members? Any comments from those in the attendance?
Couple other quick things, I haven't written down before, but, what's the gentleman's name who does the maintenance at Maple River?
Jared
Jared
Hayes.
Hayes.
And, as far as Pat goes, he'll just be getting the normal 2.6% when matters closed.
Yes.
For this year.
Okay. That's all I have for today.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, if there's no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It was mine. It was mine.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned, thank you.